Is the Eagles' recent success, that's a 3-game winning streak of recent success, is it sustainable? Is there proof in the pudding that the Eagles are onto something now? We're going to talk about that. Sixers still just waiting. We might get a little word today. Just waiting. Flyers still suck because they still don't have a goaltender. All this and more trending in the AM. We're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We're live, YouTube and Twitter. Make sure you do me that favor. You hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, you hit that follow button, you share it out, you do whatever you can to tell one, tell all, to get in the conversation, to get in the talk, because this is the only morning show in Philadelphia where your opinions actually matter. The only place you don't have to pay to have your opinions heard. The only place you go where your opinions will be heard and not laughed at. We might disagree occasionally, but your opinions will be heard. And I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, every single morning right here. You can find me at Bearded Knowledge on all social media platforms. We got lots to talk about today, and I got the key Eagles question of the day. Is the Eagles' recent success, is it sustainable? Is this 3-game winning streak sustainable? Is there proof that in the wins, ugly or pretty, ugly against the Browns, okay against the Giants, pretty against the Bengals, is there proof in those wins that the Eagles are onto something and they might not be in the bad shape that some people thought they were going into the bye week? Not me, but some people. So that is the first question of the day. Sixers still waiting. They get back to action tomorrow. I think we are supposed to learn about Paul George and Joel Embiid and kind of updates on their health today. In my opinion, after watching Sunday's Sixers game and last week's Sixers games, the Sixers need Joel Embiid and Paul George more than ever to be what we expect them to be. This whole play 40 games, 45 games and just be fine. It's not going to be good enough for the Sixers. And third and finally, the Flyers. Well, they suck. That's pretty much obvious. There are a lot of problems with the Flyers. People keep tweeting and commenting on the show over recent days. It's John Tortorella. I think it's the goalie and John Tortorella. Plus, we got lots of other random sports takes and talks and conversations, including something funny with the Phillies that I'm just shocked by. And obviously the Dwayne Wade statue. We're going to tackle that later in the show as well. But there's obviously some quick comments here from AOL. Bop, 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 tulip. You like that new intro? You like the new Tulip show? I don't even know what that is. I found that on YouTube audio or YouTube music, whatever. A copyright YouTube free song. So it is what it is. I don't know. Yankees wrecked. Looks like the Dodgers are winning the World Series. They're up 3-0. I'm sure Trinidad will be nowhere to be found today. That's right. Hit the thumbs up. Don't be a jerk. Be cool. Do what all the other cool kids are doing. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Hit the share. Follow the trend of what all the cool kids are doing. All right, but let's get started with the Eagles. And let's start with the question of the day. Is the Eagles' recent success for real? That is the title of the show. But my question is the success of the Eagles sustainable? Is it sustainable? Oh, Trinidad is here in the most respectful way possible. Look, dude, I feel bad for you. There's nothing worse than when you get to the World Series or the Super Bowl or the NBA Finals and your team just falls apart. It's like almost like just don't even get that far. That's kind of the way I feel for you right now, man. I know how heartbreaking it can be. I've been heartbroken a lot more. But anyway, Is what we've seen from the Philadelphia Eagles sustainable? Is it for real? To answer the question, we got to look at why they've had this recent success. Why have they succeeded over the last 3 weeks coming out of the bye week? Because they've established a dominant run game, because they've established a much more physical defense. They've put the right players in the right positions to succeed. Plus, we're now 8 weeks into learning the Vic Fangio system, 8 weeks into understanding what Kellen Moore wants to do. So the question is it sustainable? And you've got to first and foremost look at what is becoming the identity of this Eagles football team. And the identity is running the football, playing hard-nosed defense. What wins you a Super Bowl more often than not? Running and defense. Now, yes, I know 9 of the last 10 Super Bowl champions have been a top 10 passing team, but once you get to the playoffs, it's running the football. It's playing defense that wins you the Super Bowl. So the Eagles are establishing that. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, how did they do that? They went out and added Jay Ajayi to LeGarrette Blount and had a two-headed monster dominating on the ground. That's how they went out there and won the Super Bowl. So the Eagles are out there establishing their identity of a run team, out there establishing their identity on defense, of flying all over the field, making big hits, making big plays. All the while, Jalen Hurts is starting to finally understand what's expected of him under Kellen Moore's offensive system. I think all these pieces put together are starting to tell me that not only is it sustainable, it is for real. Yankees are cheeks. Yeah, they are playing like cheeks. We got a lot of Yankees comments coming in here. I've been shit-faced for 2 days. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, make the World Series. 49ers in a 4-way tie of yeah. The NFC West is not very good, as I predicted. Yankee stands for boy, I love losing the World Series. Trinidad is hurting, Marshawn. Trinidad is definitely hurting. He is definitely not happy. But again, I get it. I understand why Trinidad's not happy in the chat, because Trinidad's team, when you get to the pinnacle and you collapse as bad as the Yankees are right now, what do you expect? I expect heartbreak. Yankees and Knicks, 2 cheeks of the same ass. We're just going right away on fire here, right from the get-go. But anyway, back to the Eagles, because I don't really care about the Yankees. I don't know about anybody else, but, I'm kind of over the World Series now. Kind of over the Yankees, obviously. Philly stands for don't be silly. We ain't making the World Series. All right, so. All right. That's fine. If you want to play those games, that's fine. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts' numbers lately in certain situations, and I'm seeing the progress we wanted from him. And that is, you're getting that progress from Jalen Hurts because you're slightly, to an extent, taking the ball out of his hands by running the football, which should have been the identity of this team from the get-go. You're getting Jalen Hurts back into the groove of confidence by putting him in a position not to create the turnovers so that he can be confident to make the big throws on third down, to make the big throws into the end zone to Devontae Smith. You guys are talking about a reconstruction. You're going to be a real one next year. What? Who's reconstructing? Phillies aren't reconstructing. Imagine being second place. You are the best loser out of everyone. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just going to ignore the chat, I guess, today. What? Cocoon? Hang a banner for that. Well, the Phillies hang banners for making the playoffs on a regular basis. If we want to talk baseball, I've got a baseball piece for you guys today. And this drives me nuts. And we'll get back to the Eagles in a second. Since the early morning chat, the initial chat wants to talk baseball. The Phillies yesterday did something I'm shocked they haven't ever done before. The Phillies did something yesterday that I'm shocked no one realized that the Phillies never did before. The Phillies did something yesterday that shocked me that I wasn't smart enough to figure out they never did, and I could be sitting on a mountain of cash right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they put in a trademark for the hashtag, for the phrase ring the bell. How in the blue hell has no one trademarked ring the bell for clothing, for hats, for merchandise yet? How? Like, I don't get it. Ring the bell is so everywhere. All the sites that got t-shirts for sale with hashtag ring the bell on it. Like, it's all got to go away. I cannot believe that no one, including the Phillies, have ever hashtagged ring the bell before. It's like, it's boggling my mind that they actually filed a patent for that or a trademark for that or whatever. I don't get it. It's insane to me. Completely insane. Boone fired. Jazz Chisenholm gone. Yeah, I don't really. I don't really know anything about the Yankees lineup and what's going on with the Yankees. Honestly, I really have no idea. Yeah, give he can vent. I just don't know what's going on. Everyone giving DeJean well-deserved credit on the chase stop, but Isaiah Rodgers should get equal credit for jamming up the wide receiver. Absolutely, and give Isaiah Rodgers credit for batting that ball towards Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Isaiah Rodgers yesterday, or 2 days ago, where's my stat on Isaiah Rodgers? I got one. He was in 11 pass rep snaps, filling in for Slay, gave up 0 catches, and he had 1 pass breakup. Isaiah Rodgers played very well, filling in for Darius Slay on Sunday. Ring the bell is harder to get copyrighted, is it? Like, it's still just, but I mean, is it? I don't know. It's insane. To me, the fact that ring the bell has never been copyrighted, it just, that they haven't even tried. It's kind of great. It's kind of crazy. Jalen Hurts looked good. Hey, thank you for saying something nice about Jalen Hurts, Marshawn. He did look good on Sunday. 4 for 5 versus the blitz. 5 for 6 on play action. 6 for 6 between the numbers. All sounds pretty damn good. But see, the thing is, Jalen Hurts looked good on Sunday, Marshawn, because the Eagles ran the football, because they stayed within their identity. They didn't put Jalen Hurts in a position to be forced to throw 35, 40 times. I forget the number exactly. But what is Jalen Hurts? Something like 12-1 when he throws 25 or 26 and less passes in his career. When you put it all on Jalen Hurts struggles. Jalen Hurts makes mistakes. Jalen Hurts plays hero ball. But when it's a well-balanced offense, or leaning on the identity, the running game, the offensive line, Jalen Hurts performs better than expected. And I think that is why this Eagles team is for real, because the last 3 weeks, they've continued to stick to what they want the identity of this football team to be. 3 common words. Trust me, I tried with. Did you? Isn't that hard? But see, the thing is, you would think an organization like the Phillies, with all the billions of dollars in the organization, it wouldn't be hard. If you tried, or me tried, to hashtag, like, I'm not trying to copyright set the trends. Like, I'm just not. But if the Phillies tried to, why not? Taco Bell got that shit locked up. Is that what it is? Giancarlo Stanton runs like old people. I don't know. Haven't watched enough to know that. Quick update, Phil. Yankees are a baseball team. You hate baseball so much, but yet you're commenting on baseball nonstop. The Cubs copyright Fly the W. I don't know. Better get on that right now, Nooms. File your trademark. The Cubs, you'll own the Cubs when it's all said and done. I get the best comparison. You remember 97 NHL Stanley Cup versus the Detroit? Oh, I do. And my golf partner on this show, on my golf show, is in Detroit and lives in Detroit. It's from Detroit. And he reminds me about that Stanley Cup all the time. All the time. Jalen Hurts was aight on Sunday. Jalen Hurts was a little better than all right on Sunday. Jalen Hurts was excellent on Sunday. Jalen Hurts continues to set career highs in so many different statistical categories at this point. Or Phil, maybe you're old enough to remember the 64. I'm not that old, okay? Not that old, okay? But I'm getting there. I'm getting there right now. I don't care if you run or pass. Doesn't matter. Just don't be one-dimensional. Balance is what matters. Absolutely, Nooms. And that's what the Eagles are doing. Over the last 3 weeks, they've identified a balanced attack on offense. But that balanced attack is leaning towards more confidence now. Because when Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball, he's letting it rip. You look at the 2 third downs that he completed, one to A.J. Brown and one to Devontae Smith. They were third and longs. And they were just confident throws. The deep ball to Devontae Smith, it was a beautiful throw, but he loves throwing that deep ball. And he's actually pretty good at deep balls and deep throws. But those 2 third downs, the one to A.J. Brown was like 16, 17 yards. I think the one to Devontae Smith was like 15 or 16. They were confident throws. And I like to use the word confident there. And that's what you want because the pressure hasn't been on Jalen Hurts because they've got that balanced offense. That balance has given him the confidence that I've only got 20, 25 throws to make a game, not 45. And I love it. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate that. I try to be the best. Am I the best? I don't know. I think I am. We're coming up on the start of season 4. November 1st, 2021 was the first day ever of Trending in the AM. And we're coming up on the start of the 4th year of doing it later this week. It's crazy. It's crazy that I've been doing this now for 3 full years, every single morning, on vacation, in other countries, everywhere I go. Can't believe it's been that long now since I've started doing this morning show. Song is too catchy. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah, I love the new intro song. As soon as I heard it, I was going through thousands of songs. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, boom, that's the intro song. 2004 is the collapse of all collapses. 2004, I don't know which one's the collapse of all collapses. Actually, the 97 Flyers collapse was not the collapse of all collapses because I knew going into that Stanley Cup we were going to get smoked. The Red Wings back then were just so elite. Like the Flyers had no chance. And I knew that going into that. At least I can find some solace in the fact that even though my Yankees are getting swept, Phillies had to face the same situation multiple times. Yeah, we have. We've struggled. We've collapsed plenty of times. We've collapsed way more than we won. It's a shame that quarterback's running ability isn't respected anymore. The game of football was invented with the intention of allowing quarterback to run with his tailback and fullback. Yeah, I mean, if you're a running mobile quarterback, you are looked upon as a lesser quarterback, mister. And it's a shame because Jalen Hurts has what? 7 rushing touchdowns to go along with his passing touchdowns? And they're frowned upon. He ran with authority on Sunday. And when he runs with authority, mister, it makes the passing game easier. Because not only do they have to worry about Saquon Barkley, not only do they got to worry about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, when Jalen Hurts is running design runs with authority, it's another element of the offense that the opposing defense has to worry about when he's running with that authority. So it complements his passing game, his running ability, but yet he's frowned upon. It's the same thing, mister. I mean, this is not something new. I mean, you're old enough to remember, like remember, the Donovan McNabb era. We got to turn him into a pocket passer. We got to turn Donovan into a West Coast offensive quarterback. And when we tried, he failed. He kept throwing the worm balls because you wanted him running 2-step drop slants over the middle, not who he was. You tried to change what made him an elite draft pick, that made him a great quarterback in the NFL. And that was the problem. All these things are starting to work properly for the Eagles, which is putting them in a position that this is for real. Is Russell Wilson 6'2" Steelers the best NFL team? No. I'm not shocked that he's found a way to win, replacing Justin Fields, who kind of felt like got the raw end of the deal. I don't think Justin Fields dressed last night. I think he got bumped from not only the starter to the third string cornerback, which is just insanity. Patrick Mahomes playing like shit and still being undefeated while playing good teams is the best. Yeah, the Chiefs are the best because you're playing two teams. You're playing the Chiefs and you're playing the Zebras when you're playing against the Chiefs. So they are. The Eagles, the Lions, I think the Lions are the real deal. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFC. If you had to pick the two best teams to battle it out right now, it'd be the Chiefs and the Lions. I think the Eagles, what they're doing the last 3 weeks is sustainable. So I would pit the Eagles right there with the Lions and maybe even Washington for the three best teams in the NFC right now. In the Western, the AFC, I would say the Chiefs are definitely one. The Ravens, I mean, losing to the Browns last week's a pretty bad loss. So I don't even know who else. I guess I would put the Chiefs and the Bills as the top two teams in the AFC. I'm going to try to find time today to do a power ranking. Maybe I'll even make it a show or something. It's baffling. Chiefs play so bad, yet they continue to win. I also think that Hurts is finally healthy. The bounce offense helped, but he hasn't run that fast or thrown that far in a while. Yeah, it's the health. He was healthy, I think, from the start of the season. I do think that. I think he's been healthy since day one, but the confidence in his legs and arms weren't there, Nooms. Also, his effective runs, even in the last week or two, are not on read options. They're on design runs. Okay? The read option, he still doesn't process it quick enough. And I don't know the specific numbers, but I feel like they ran the read option this past week, maybe the last 2 weeks, a little less. And by running the read option less and just calling more design runs, making him a little bit more effective as a runner, which then opens up the passing game, which gives him the confidence. These short passes gives him confidence. Good protection. I mean, I was not happy with Fred Johnson getting another start. He gave up one pressure against Trey Hendrickson. He went one-on-one with Trey Hendrickson 13 times. He gave up one pressure. 22 pass blocking snaps, one pressure, that one against Hendrickson. Tyler Steen's filling in for Becton this year. 82 pass blocking snaps. He's given up 0 quarterback hits, 0 sacks. Our offensive line's a lot deeper than I even realized. Mans had 1 touchdown since September last week. Who? Did you just ask that? Look, I get their well-coached team, but come on now. Let's have them go up against some real opponents. Well, first off, okay, I get this. Oh, hold on. You're responding to AOL's comment about Russell Wilson. I thought you were talking about real competition for the Eagles because that narrative, it's like, oh, the Browns are a great defense and we beat the Browns. Oh, well, they're terrible. The Giants are a great defense and we whoop up on them. Well, they're terrible. The Bengals are a great team. They're going to win. We beat them. Well, they're not a good team. I thought that's what you're going to get at there, Joe, but I'm ready. I'm prepared. Remember when the Eagles tried to make Randall Cunningham a pocket passer? Bryce Hop yeah. Dude, I still have nightmares, Brian, of 1991. I really thought 1991 was going to be that first Super Bowl for the Eagles. I was an 11-year-old little mini beard. Well, without the beard. Still the buzz cut, though. Yes, I remember 91 and Bryce Pop. Little 11-year-old me was hyped for the Rocket Man. The Lions have 0 defense. I don't think they understand what the concept of defense is. I disagree. I think the Lions have a solid defense. Is the Eagles' offense sustainable right now? Todd, I think it is. Because they have found their identity. They are leaning into their identity, Todd, which is running the football, which is setting up the pass by running the football, which Jalen Hurts has everything we wanted Jalen Hurts to do better, Todd. He is. His completion percentage so far this year, a career high. Total yards per pass, career high. Passer QBR, or hold on, where is it? Total QBR, career high. Passing success rate, whatever the hell that is, career high. Between rushing and passing, he's got 15 touchdowns this year. If a team can have a quarterback as a dual threat, that makes the offense more dangerous. I agree. You do got to protect them. You can't have people getting hurt. You can't have Anthony Richardson tapping out because he ran really far. You can't have Jalen Daniels taking big hits, etc. You got to protect your quarterback. I didn't like Jalen Hurts lowering his shoulder on a run on Sunday and taking a big shot to his throwing arm. Bryce Pop, man. I can still hear the pop from Bryce Pop. If the Lions allowed the Titans to score 14, they'll allow team maybe. I don't know. McNabb is the Eagles' all-time leader in passing. If he failed at passing, then what? The Eagles have a terrible history at quarterback. Let's not lie about that, mister. We know the Eagles' all-time passing quarterback-wise has not been good. There's a reason why Bobby Hoying and Coy and Ty Detmer and not Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon played too. The other McMahon boy played here. I mean, Bubby Brister, Rodney MVP. We've had some bad quarterback play in my lifetime for sure. Bryce Pop the GOAT, stop. Yeah, you would say that's the Bills. Todd, what's your thoughts on Joel Embiid not playing back-to-backs? Well, Joel Embiid, the Sixers are part of the conversation today. We should learn a little bit about the Sixers' two stars and their health today. I think they practice later today, and we're supposed to get an update of their return. I expect Paul George to be back on Wednesday, maybe Joel Embiid back on Wednesday. We'll see. I think Joel Embiid might be a little longer. I get why the Sixers are being cautious with Joel Embiid and Paul George. But I also watched a lot of basketball so far this year of the Sixers. Pretty much every minute of every game this year. It's only been 3 games. And I still to this moment feel like the Sixers can't have Joel Embiid only play 40, 45 games. Can't have Paul George play 55, 60 games. And you got to build chemistry between Joel Embiid and Paul George and Tyrese Maxey together. But the Sixers team is built around Joel Embiid and Paul George and Maxey, not Maxey. There's a lot of role players, and we can pull up any box score from the 3 games. You got way too many role players being forced into roles that they can't perform in. Yabusele constantly taking way too many shots. But without Paul George and Joel Embiid, he's got to. So while I understand why they're not going to do it, if only thing he misses the rest of the year is back-to-backs, fine. But we know he's going to miss more than that. And that's the problem. And how they build that chemistry. Cooper DeJean really does look like Jason Sehorn out there. Is that the comparison? I haven't even tried to think of a Cooper DeJean comparison yet. I need to think about that one a little bit. I mean, I get the Jason Sehorn thing. I haven't really tried to figure out who Cooper DeJean looks like, but Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, I mean, the secondary is set. I mean, Reed Blankenship's still fairly young. Sidney Brown's going to come into his own, hopefully. Isaiah Rodgers is 26. Secondary might be something special going forward here. You can only play who's on your schedule. We use the bad teams to help turn us to get ready to play the better teams. Absolutely agree, Duck. Absolutely agree with this. And I said this last week. Can we use these games to build some momentum? But it's not long from now. We're going to have Dallas, Baltimore, Washington. Dallas still sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. Chris Spielman, though, there's a linebacker. Hello, Duck, yes. Every time you say Todd, I think of Christmas Vacation. Todd. I'm going to work on power rankings. I was thinking of doing like a separate show just to reveal my power rankings, AOL. Maybe I'll do that if I have a chance to do that later today. Todd makes me think of Frank Caliendo's Mel Kiper impersonation. Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, well, anyway, we're moving on from all those comments. No. Josh Harris has his something in his hand Sunday between the Commanders and Sixers. I'm pretty sure Josh Harris was more focused on his Commanders than the Sixers. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I'm just powering through some of these silly comments. Do a power ranking shoe? Todd, hey, we do this every single morning, my man. Every morning. Whatever you want to talk about. I set the table, but if you got any questions sports related, we'll tap into it because we're talking Eagles. The Sixers are on the table. I got some fun things I got to discuss. I got to go through my Twitter page later in the show because I had some interesting thoughts on Twitter yesterday that aren't serious, but I really want to get everybody's honest opinions on. So we do this every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30. Todd, you are welcome to join us every day. Went to a comedy club in Southwest Philly over the weekend. The security guards had what? Seriously, I don't even know how to respond to that. We talk turkey. We don't talk turkey. I hate turkey. Thanksgiving is coming up, but I hate turkey. Just gonna say it. Phil set the table. I set the table. I've set the table today. Is it sustainable? I got more stats all over my 2 pages of notes here of why it's sustainable. I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody, and I forget who, I didn't write it down. I didn't write down who put this out there. Somebody put out there into the social media world. I typically get most of my stats from Shane Haff, Anthony DeBona, Brendan Deeg, a few others. But Quinion Mitchell versus Sauce Gardner. He wrote down the comparisons of numbers, okay, between the two. Quinion Mitchell's given up 18 catches, Sauce Gardner 16. Quinion Mitchell has been targeted more times, so he's only given up a 51.4% completion rate, where Sauce Gardner's given up a 59%. Sauce Gardner's given up 60 more yards and a touchdown. They've played the exact same snaps. So it might be a small sample size on Quinion Mitchell, but Quinion Mitchell is literally matching, if not better than, Sauce Gardner step for step this year. Just put that into perspective a little bit. You guys. Need a power rankings of candy for trick-or-treaters. Well, that's funny you say that. Maybe we'll get to this one right now. Let me pull up my Twitter profile here. All right. This is not a power rankings. This is an annoyance, if anything. Okay. All right. The biggest, my wife, we had some people over on Sunday for a little brunch, my in-laws and my sister and her family. And so my wife bought a lot of Halloween candy. The miniature Whoppers packages. Is there a bigger teasing candy than this? 3 Whoppers in a little plastic thing that takes literally 400 pounds of pressure to rip open to get 3 little miniature Whoppers out. I like Whoppers. I think the malt candy is delicious. But this is the biggest tease in Halloween candy there is. Like, why? Why make a package with 3 miniature Whoppers in it? And if you're going to do it, make it a little easier to open. Like, this is the stupidest thing to put in those mixed candy bags there are. The worst. The absolute worst candy for trick-or-treaters because they don't sell these things other than around Halloween. Okay? But I'll work on a Halloween candy power ranking. I'm going to write this down. We'll do this tomorrow. Halloween candy power ranking. We'll get that together for tomorrow. We'll get that, or well, maybe we'll do that Thursday morning for Halloween. But this right here, this is the worst right here. What's your prediction for Sunday versus Eagles versus Jags? Well, I don't give my score prediction till Friday. I will tell you this: I think the Eagles will win the game. Their momentum is building. I know someone yesterday said, "Could it be a trap game?" Sure, it could be. I don't think it will trend that way. I think the Eagles are looking good and pretty for Sunday. We'll get into the keys to victory, the keys to the game on Friday's show. Gotta be honest, had the Orioles not lost Brandish maybe in the World Series instead of them Yankees, I'm so over baseball. Yeah, definitely we'll never talk about that. Morgan, stop. Yeah, no. I got stop. Well, got your flu shot. See, I've never had a flu shot once in my life. What's up, Eric? Good morning to the gatekeeper. Just says banned. I've never banned Mista. I still see Mista, so you may have banned Mista. I hate sweet potato pie. Chip Kelly wanted pecan pie. I hate pecan. I'll take sweet potato pie over pecan pie any day. I love the Whoppers candy. I do. I can't say that I don't, but it's so terrible. I hope Eric, the Core 12's got your back whenever you need it. Core 12 is the trick-or-treaters of YouTube. Yeah. Snickers are okay, Todd. I'm not a huge Snickers fan. I don't like peanuts and almonds and cashews or any of the nut family, especially in my candy. I'm not a huge fan, but I get the appeal of Snickers. A frozen Reese's peanut butter cup is the GOAT of Halloween candy. You got to get the bag. You got to get them in the freezer. That's it. All right, Rock. Whopper is the bubble screen of Halloween treats. It is. It is. Like, I love like they sell them in the big milk cartons, the Whoppers. That's fine. You can pour out a whole bowl of them. But the little package with 3 Whoppers in it. It's the dumbest thing in Halloween candy. The needle or I don't even know what the difference is. Little down, but I'm here now. Hey, we got you. We got you, Eric. The Core 12 has your back. Me love some Whoppers. As a diabetic, I respect the small packaging. Easy to open. Push the top Whopper through the that's true. You can push it through. I don't care. I mean, I'm not diabetic that I know of. I might be. Who knows? But, man, it's such a tease. You only get 3 little Whoppers. That package is not easy. I'm sitting there last night, like, trying to rip it open as I'm watching Monday Night Football and Raw and baseball. And, like, I'm just going to rip it too much, and they're going to fly all over the place. Then my dogs will eat it. And, yeah, no. I hate the little packages. Give me the milk carton of Whoppers. Big Al. Must be a Delco thing, us loving Whoppers. I'm old school. Nothing but a spoon and a needle. What? Just give me a Nutrageous and I'm good. I don't even know what a Nutrageous is. Probably because I don't like nuts. I've been on an M&M peanut this year. Again, don't do the peanuts. So, no. I love how every game is getting us prepared for a strong run. Absolutely, Eric. That is the topic of the day. Is it sustainable? Is it real? And I think it is because we're building. We're building. We're laying the foundation, the building blocks for what is to come with this Eagles team so that when we get to the Ravens, when we get to Washington, kind of have an idea of what our identity is at that point. Love peanut M&Ms. I love M&Ms in general. I'm an apple pie. I love apple pie. Nice warm apple pie with a scoop of ice cream on top. That's the GOAT pie. I love a key lime pie too. If you're ever in Key West, you got to go to the stores that sell the key lime pie dipped in chocolate. I mean, if you're diabetic like Al, that's probably not for you. But I remember when we went to Key West for Christmas last year, walking down the street, and this vendor was selling key lime pie dipped in like that hard chocolate that like hardens instantly. Oh, there was so much sugar in it, but it was so delicious. Loved it. Yeah. Where are we at? Candles. Expensive these days. Okay. Is Hurts still in the top 10 of quarterbacks in the NFL? Absolutely. Todd, there are some that watch this show that will say no. But to me, you cannot name 10 quarterbacks in the NFL that are better than Jalen Hurts at this time. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is. Josh Allen is having a better season for sure. Lamar Jackson, not so good yesterday. How many quarterbacks in the NFL have thrown more interceptions? We talk about Jalen Hurts' turnovers and interceptions all the time. Well, you know how many turnovers Patrick Mahomes has? How many interceptions some other starting quarterbacks have in the NFL? There's very few quarterbacks I would take over Jalen Hurts still, even with what we've seen this year. And is he a top 5 guy? Borderline? But he's not Todd, outside of the top 10 in my opinion. There's so much bad quarterback play in the NFL anyway. Reese's the best. Yeah, I don't like peanuts or anything, but I love Reese's peanut butter cups. Make that one make sense. I have no idea what's going in the comments right now. I have literally no clue what half of these comments are talking about here. Whopper package is whack. You damn near ruin it trying to the little chocolate, the chocolate balls that we all love. Can't tell. Spoon and needle. I don't know what's going on here. The chicken Big Mac. I'm not trying that. I don't eat McDonald's to begin with. I'm definitely not trying the chicken big. Basically, 2 chicken patties on a big. Basically, they knew the E. coli breakout was coming, so they tried to push the chicken patties to get people to forget that their burgers have E. coli running through them. What's my thoughts on the Kobe Dean play this year? It's funny. His story is so up and down, Todd. So up and down. Started out week 1, week 2, playing great football. I was extremely encouraged. And then week 3, 4, going to the bye. Seemed like we talked on this show actually about it, that he leveled out, if not was trending downward. And that maybe we should be playing Devin White. We cut Devin White. And all of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, Nakobe Dean's been playing fantastic football. Not just because of the 2 sacks last week, just in general. He's attacking the ball. He's staying with his receivers in coverage. He's getting in behind the line of scrimmage and making plays. Nakobe Dean has played very well. It's obviously taken him a little time to adjust to the Vic Fangio system. It's taken him a little time. I mean, let's think about it. Before this year, Nakobe Dean has played what? He played like a handful of snaps 2 years ago, and he was hurt most of last year. So he hasn't played much football over the last couple of years. It's taken him a little time to get back into the flow of the system. Do I still think the Eagles need depth at linebacker at the trade deadline? Absolutely. But I also think that Nakobe Dean, if he stays healthy, is extremely serviceable with the potential to be really, really good. Not great, but good at the linebacker position. I'm still a little, concerned about his size. Well, that's great. Congratulations there. When you're in St. Pete, Dean's made a lot of plays the last couple of weeks. Should switch the package of Whoppers and Milk Duds. That is a fantastic point, Eric. That's a winner right there. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Right there. Chicken Big Macs are another attack on my childhood. It's a tasty, tasty travesty of a sandwich. Oh, my God. Duds are great. No. Whoppers are greater than Duds. Absolutely. I know exactly. K1. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm enjoying Todd's. I'm having a one-on-one conversation with Todd because everybody else is talking like way over here, way out in left field here today. But that's fine. That's fine. You guys have your side conversations. Hurts is like Russell Wilson. He beats the good and great quarterbacks. I mean, Russell Wilson didn't beat a good or great quarterback yesterday. He beat Daniel Jones. That's all that matters. Humans have been using painkillers for years. Too much good thing. What? I don't know where the conversation is going. I don't think K1's even heard the new intro yet. Yeah, thank you, Nooms. Thank you, K1. Literally, I'm trying. I'm trying to get back on point. Trying to keep this a sports show. Trying to keep this a fun show. But you never know where the conversation's going to go here. Dean has been quietly making plays. He's added a swim move to his method while blitzing, which has helped him get closer to the quarterback the last few weeks. Absolutely. I was a little concerned about Nakobe Dean literally like 3 weeks ago after the Bucs game. Couldn't understand why Devin White wasn't getting on the field. But since the bye, something's clicked. Something has clicked with the bye, or since the bye, for the entire Eagles defense. Some of it is the opponents have been bad. No doubt about it. But some of it is also a confidence that's magical. The light's been switched on with them. Hurts look pretty solid. His short passing game needs some work. I disagree. I think his short passing game has been fine. For sure. Even that Davis made a play. Jordan Davis's snap count is dropping. It is a concern to me. Dan Silio's mouth has both developed our offense and defense. The simple man is developing it all. That curmudgeon bum there. Not just a fake coat play. What? Dean's foot speed is back. And see, that's the thing. People don't understand how much football time Nakobe Dean has missed over the last couple years. That is something. Not just the foot speed, the mental toughness recognition as well, Nooms. Not playing regular football for how many years has slowed his progression down. But there was a point in time where Nakobe Dean was expected to be a first-round talent in the NFL draft. We'll see. We'll see. Trust me, I know. Too much junk food has me. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. What should the offensive game plan be for the Jags Sunday? Well, I haven't dove deep into the Jags team. I do know Brian Thomas is hurt and out. Chris Kirk might be out. So their offense isn't going to be a juggernaut to stop. You're going to have to stop Evan Ingram if he's not hurt. I don't even know. Haven't heard his name much this year. Defensively, I don't know if they've got much defensively. All I know about the game plan for Sunday is that we might be ending the Doug Peterson era in Jacksonville if we beat the Jags on Sunday, if we beat them handily. Now, we're all confident on the Eagles. Now we're going to predict the big, easy blowout victory, and that's when the going gets tough. But the game plan should be what it's been. Establish the run game. Keep Jalen Hurts under 25 passes. Keep him that 20 to 25 pass range. Run the football 25, 30 times. And just control the clock. Control the ball. And do what you do. Put the ball in the playmaker's hands. And that's what they've done the last couple of weeks. When's Barb got away on Halloween candy? Sidebar is good for soul sometimes. Freddie Defo likes the sidebar conversations. I love it. Sidebar. I am still out on Russell Wilson, but he's better in Pitt than he was in Denver. Yeah, I watched a few minutes of the game last night. Not much of it. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like they did Justin Fields dirty to an extent. It's Freddie. It's not Frederick. I've never called him Frederick Defo. I don't even know if it's Defo. It's Defio, maybe. I don't root for injuries, but I would be very interested to see Carson Wentz play in an Andy Reid system with an Andy Reid situation. It's funny you say that. My father-in-law is a huge Chiefs fan. Huge Chiefs fan. I don't know why. He's Fugazi, born and raised in Philly, but he's a Chiefs fan. Make it make sense. I don't know. But he is a diehard. And he does watch every Chiefs game, and he does, watch them through the winning and the losing, which is mostly winning since I've known him. He's brought us out to Big Charlie's at Chiefs Bar in Philly a few times. He brought this up that the Chiefs are obviously going to run away with the division. They're going to run away making the playoffs here. That they should rest Patrick Mahomes one of the easier games and get Carson Wentz some snaps just in case. He brought that up to me just literally on Sunday when he was here for brunch. He thought it should have been this past week against the Raiders. Why is Dan Silios always criticizing black quarterbacks but never says anything bad about white players? Look, I don't go there with that. I'm not going to call them what you are, but I'm not going to say you're wrong. I think there's a lot of that in the criticism of Jalen Hurts. Not everybody, but in the big media channels. There's been a lot of trades in the NFL. I was referring to Prime Wilson. I should have been more specific. Gotcha. I've offered. Anytime you want to have Dan, K1, you set up the introduction. Dan Sileo is welcome to come try to debate me and the Core 12 anytime he wants. He can even set the questions. No questions asked. No problem going one-on-one with him. Now, he might not like what I have to say, but I'll go one-on-one with him as long as he doesn't hang up on me or kick me off the stream because he don't like my answers. But he's a silly man with lazy takes, with hot takes to clickbait you. That's not what we do here. You know the answer. Why ask the question? Exactly. I will just be Sileo yelling and turning red. Well, yeah, I will laugh a lot. I would need to do a Sileo debate at nighttime when I can drink because his answers would literally drive me to alcoholism probably. Do you believe that Sirianni is scripting the first 15 plays the reason for the Eagles' slow starts that Kellen Moore takes over? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I don't know if it's 15 plays per se, but that first quarter is all Sirianni. And then you always see a switch. I think it kind of felt like maybe Sirianni had more input in the opening drive this time, but you could see two totally different offenses. The pre-scripted plays versus the post-scripted plays. Two totally different offensive systems that are being run, Todd. So it's what part does Nick Sirianni has influence on versus no influence. It's crazy. It's pretty obvious as well. Which would be great yeah, I don't know if it'd be great content or not. We're not losing to the Jags next week. Not happening, Trinidad. You pulled Dan S away from constantly tossing Angelo's salad. Look, even the channel he's on, Cilio, that channel is falling to pieces. They can't pay their workers. They only have 2 shows, really, him and their morning show, and that's pretty much it. They lost all that talent because they didn't pay anybody like they're supposed to. Backdoor and win by a field goal. We don't talk about that. My VI doctor declined by request for. I don't even know. I don't understand that. You mean Howie is going to fire Doug twice? Howie is going to be responsible for him being fired twice. Yes. Respect the second coming of Tom Brady and the Belichick dynasty, Phil. Who's the Belichick dynasty now? What? What did I say? Why help prevent that really bad thing versus treat the bad thing? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll set it up that's fine. Set it up in neutral territory with a neutral debate or moderator of the debate. Sure. The elections next week, we can do an election style. We can do a town hall debate style. I don't care. I have no problem going one-on-one with anybody. This morning show thing, this isn't my only skill. I can interview. I can debate. There's a lot of other things that I'm capable of other than monitoring you guys in the chat. Silly don't want to come into the Eagles' nest yet. Cilio is out of Florida, so it would have to be in the Carolinas for neutral. We'll host it in Switzerland. They're always neutral, right? Philly cheesesteak pizza thing. Yeah, I make a Philly cheesesteak pizza. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely a thing. And so, exactly. How does Jacob get away with not paying their people? Like, I really don't understand. I mean, I wouldn't work for a company that wasn't paying me even one paycheck. The Chiefs are the dynasty now, I guess. I mean, they are. I mean, they're going to win their 3rd straight. I respect the Chiefs for what they are. They're dominating, straight up. Todd, I love all these questions, keeping me on par with what I want to talk about today while the rest of the chat's going off into left field. Do you believe Hurts responds better to a Kellen Moore game plan rather than responds better? I don't know. The thing is, Kellen Moore's plan is more simplified, which is what you need with Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore's trying to put the round peg into the round hole versus a square hole. The thing is, we're still only 8 weeks, 7 games into the Kellen Moore era. And it's his 75th offense coordinator in the last 3 years. So we had to give him time, and he's got the time. And now things are starting to hum along a little bit. So I think Kellen Moore has a better understanding of how to establish the identity of this offense and stick to it. And I love that. People don't want to say that, but that's a dynasty. I know the Chiefs are a dynasty. I've never said they aren't. Why is the NFL trade deadline on the same day as the president's election? They must think us football fans are too stupid to vote. That didn't even dawn on me. That is true, isn't it? It's next Tuesday, the deadline, right? Huh. Those two things didn't line up for me. It really did. Yes, I do call this a skill. There is something to what I do here. Moderating you guys, keeping you on par, waking my ass up at 6:30 a.m. to do this every day before I go put in a dozen hours at my pizza shop, K1. This, staying awake with you guys every morning, this is a skill. This is a bigger skill than you realize what I'm doing. And it's about time you put some respect on what I do here every morning. So when you enter the bait to the stand, do you have entrance music? It wouldn't be Real American Hero, like one Mr. Hulk Hogan, who couldn't even rip his shirt off the other day like he tried. Anybody see Hulk Hogan out there doing the Donald Trump dance? It's so freaking silly. Girls like guys with good skills. What? Jordan Peterson taught us that. What? I'm sorry. Who's Jordan Peterson? Phil is the Gardner Minshew of debate. Never know what you're going to get, but good or bad, you're probably going to lose. Wow. Wow, that's harsh, Trinidad. I'm going to lose or they're going to lose? I hope you're meaning they're going to lose. Man, if you're saying I'm going to lose every debate no matter what, harsh. 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 I've welcomed you open arms in the Core 12, and this is how you treat me? This is how you treat? Never turn your back on family, Trinidad. All right? Who? I don't even know who that is. Are the Commanders the best in the NFC or the Eagles? The Detroit Lions are the best in the NFC, in my opinion. Hands down. Hands down. The Commanders are the second best team right now, but I'm still not sold on the Commanders because they have a rookie quarterback. Not every rookie quarterback is going to have a season like C.J. Stroud last year. He's playing well, but I'm not sure. But right now it's the Lions, Commanders, Eagles in the NFC. That's the hierarchy. Working on power rankings. Maybe they'll be for the show tomorrow or a separate show. I don't know. I'll figure that out when I've got time. But yes, the hierarchy of the NFC right now is Lions, Commanders, Eagles. But we're only through week 7 or week 8. Last year in the playoffs, we had injured number 1 wide receiver. It was rainy, windy, etc. And Sirianni was still throwing the ball. Yeah. 100% with you on that. Bop, 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 tulip. Bop, 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 tulip. Yeah, you like that beat. That's been rolling for over a week now. Who is Jordan Peterson? Is he a moderator of debates? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to win. All right. So I want to make sure we're not turning against the family already here. In the reality of a Philly fan, and I'm also day drinking. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? That's all that matters. It is 5 o'clock somewhere, always. Eagles need to score a touchdown the first quarter. Let Kellen Moore. Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I don't know why. We clearly see the difference in the style and the system. Pre-scripted versus post-scripted. Why don't the Eagles just do why do you even have scripted plays anymore in the NFL? Like, really? The whole idea of a scripted play or offense to start games, to me, is such an outdated philosophy in football. If you get the ball first, you might have your first 2 plays scripted, and that's it. Then you just go with the flow. If you don't get the ball first and you defer like the Eagles did, you run that first play based off of what the other team does. The whole scripted thing is an outdated philosophy to me. I'm down 0-3. I'm drowning. I'm lashing out. I love you. I love that you're here, Trinidad. New York fans are so cranky when they are forced to go back to year start. Yeah. Yup. Yeah. Let Trinidad off the hook, Phil. Okay. All right. Let him off the hook. For old time's sake. Can't do it. Can't do it, K1. Phil, you are good at expressing your opinions on sports and great at pulling shit out of your behind when you don't know the answer. I fake it until I make it, mister. And I'm glad that you realize that I pull a lot of shit out of my ass, okay? I do. I do fake a lot here in the morning, okay? Fake. I do. But I think this is what sports talk should be. Not what you see on the radio, not what you see on the bigger online networks. This show here is what sports talk should be. Hence, setting the trends for what sports talk should be. Rule number 1A of Fight Club: no besmirching of Phil. Damn straight, Eric. I know the gatekeeper's always got my back. Yeah. What's the over/under on Dougie P getting fired this season after this? I thought he would have been fired already, Todd. I think the Eagles could put the nail in the coffin. If the Eagles go out there and win 37-17, like they did against the Bengals, Doug Peterson will just be left. Doug Peterson's probably still got a house somewhere in the Philly area. He'll just be left here in Philly. Why not? Phil is also a good sport when trolls like me give it. Absolutely. I don't get offended by it. I don't. I enjoy it. It brings a part of the entertainment factor to this show. 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week, plus all the other content I do. Got to have fun in the morning. Sometimes the coffee hasn't kicked in. Like today. I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. It's very hard to do this when you have a bad night's sleep. And last night was a bad night's sleep. So I wouldn't be a Yankee fan if I wasn't stabbing an ally in the back. Gotcha. I thought Rule 1A was no one can mess with ours, but us. Yeah, that's true. You guys are allowed to. The core 12 is allowed. Any word on Dallas Goedert coming back? I don't know. You would think he would be, Todd, since they didn't put him on IR, and this would be 3 weeks. You miss a minimum of 4 games on IR. This week would be week 3. Why they haven't put him on IR, I don't know. Now, Nick Sirianni, his Monday after the game presser, made sure to shout out Grant Calcaterra and how he's only got 12 catches on the year, but 6 of them have been for those explosive 19, 20-yard plays or more. He talked about how he's got a good feel for the routes he's got to run. He's got good quickness. He's got strong hands. Nick Sirianni was praising Grant Calcaterra in yesterday's press conference, so that you like to see that from him. But Dallas Goedert's got to come back for the offense to be complete. It does. I mean, we are, winning some games with him and not out there. Basically 3-0. He missed most of the first game of this winning streak and the last 2. So maybe that's the thing. I keep joking that we're 3-0 since inserting Cooper DeJean in the starting lineup. We're also 3-0 since Dallas Goedert went down on the third play at coming out of the bye. Just saying. Doug P is out that door by end of season. I don't think they bother kicking him until late, so you can at least get ahead of. Maybe. As a New Yorker, I don't think y'all understand the true skill Phil has. The skill of bullshit. It takes a lot to be I was raised by a great line of bullshitters. The Stiefel name has many bullshitters in it. Just so you know, for sure. Make a lot of money when you can bullshit. Yeah, I mean, I don't really make a lot of money doing this, but whatever. Imagine if the Dodgers still had their other stars, Bobby Miller, Tyler Glasnow. They would have just given it to the Dodgers. Yanks have a chance to take a bullpen game or 2. Do they get the gentleman sweep the Yankees or the Dodgers, which means they give up game 4 just out of courtesy? I don't know. Phil needs a soundboard so bad. What, you don't like the audio sound that I've got? I've got a soundboard right here. It's not a high quality one, but I ain't investing anymore. Not right now. Can Tyrese Maxey sustain the 6? No. This is the easiest one. You said no. The Sixers, Tyrese Maxey cannot be the number one part of the offense when let me rephrase that. This team built the way this team is built, Todd. No. And I've watched, like I said, almost every minute of every Sixers game this year, the 3 games. And without Joel Embiid and Paul George out there and Tyrese Maxey, he's just too small to be the guy with no complementary pieces. Because right now, Caleb Martin's a nice role player. I love Caleb Martin. Gershon Yabusele, at 2 of the 3 games at halftime, he had the second most shots on the team. Not good enough. Eric Gordon's going to have his moments, but not good enough to be a focal point when need be. Now, when all those guys are the 5th, 6th, 7th option, sure, great. But when George and Embiid are both out, it's a major problem. Major problem for the Sixers. Kellen Moore's found the recipe for Hurts' success. Keep an extra blocker in to give Hurts extra time he needs in the pockets. Hey, well, we got a problem there because isn't Jack Stoll might be out. So if Dallas Goedert is still out and Jack Stoll don't play, we got a problem at tight end. Means we're going to get some Albert O next week, probably. I don't know. Don't compare Phil to a New Yorker. He keeps his mouth shut under questioning. I ain't no rat, okay? There are no rats in my family, okay? If they gentlemen sweep us, I'm fighting the first person I see in the Dodgers hat. The gentleman sweep annoys me. I will just let them have a win, and then we'll beat them in game 5. No, shut them down in 4. I don't care if Freddie Freeman is the first person I see. No. You can't hate on Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's just considering he was a Brave for a majority of his career, I don't even hate Freddie Freeman. I don't. You can't hate Freddie Freeman, especially with the year he's had personally. The Ben Van Sumeren fullback duck is something interesting, fun, unique, next level thinking from Kellen Moore. I guarantee you that was not Nick Sirianni's idea to put Ben Van Sumeren back there as a fullback. That's got Kellen Moore written all over it. We need a blocker back there to help open up the lanes. And let me tell you something. Considering it hasn't been since his freshman or sophomore year of college that he played fullback, he's doing a damn good job. He's falling right back into that role. I'd like to see more of it, Duck, especially if we've got tight end issues. I wonder if he can catch. Maybe Ben Van Sumeren becomes our Kyle Juszczyk. Maury's flaw on display with Embiid, MPG, Eric, 100%. He keeps building the team around Joel Embiid and now Paul George, but he doesn't build a team accurately for all the games that those guys are going to miss. This was the same problem last year when Joel Embiid was out for stretches. We didn't have a team. I will say on this, Tobias Harris, they're already calling for him to be put to the bench in Detroit. So at least we don't have that problem to deal with this year. But Caleb Martin, Kelly Oubre shouldn't be taking 15 shots a game. You cannot add 4 or 5 guys. No. Are we going to see more of Will Shipley? No. Unfortunately. I mean, Saquon Barkley is the man. Kenny Gainwell's entrenched as the backup. I mean, Will Shipley, you only see Will Shipley in mop-up duty or someone gets hurt, and knock on wood, no one gets hurt. So I don't want to see Will Shipley because normally that means that something bad happens if we see him in important minutes. Just saying. You can't hate Freddie. You know, I despise him. No, you can't hate on Freddie Freeman. Why does he have the worst vendors in dental history? I have no idea. No idea. Never even noticed that. Is Vapor locked into names instead of players? Yeah, look, everyone's hyping up Daryl Morey's offseason. And I've already seen through 3 games that his offseason had flaws. It does. Yeah. We got age and mediocre players. Buys a lot. And look, I also don't think the Sixers roster is completed. I still think that the Sixers make more trades at the deadline. Who, how, why, I don't know. Don't ask me that question, but they do. They will. But this whole idea of Joel Embiid playing 45 games to be healthy for the playoffs, let me tell you something. We're going to be playing in the playoff round again, if that's the case. There was 15 back-to-backs this year, so it's 15 games he could miss. If he plays 60 games, maybe we got a shot. But if he plays 50, 45, we're in trouble because you're not going to be able to build any cohesive chemistry between him, George, and Maxey, which needs to be done. Will Shipley will get his shot, but remember, even 36 West had to wait his turn. Absolutely. Yeah, I like Will Shipley, the player. I think Will Shipley, the player, will be good eventually. It's just, it ain't his time. And if his time comes this year, that means somebody gets hurt, which you don't want to see. There are crucial positions where players need to be young and athletic, but instead he keeps adding old guys. Yeah, it's a common problem. It is. And the threat of Saquon running forces teams to play single coverage on AJ. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are Sixers still under investigation? Yes, they are under investigation for the resting of Joel Embiid to start the year. Absolutely, they are. Did you guys see that Joel Embiid actually has a stat on the stat sheet already this year, and he hasn't played a game? I guess at the end of the game, he was waving his towel, and the NBA has given him a post-game technical for that. I'm surprised the Pacers didn't say, I want to take that free throw now to see if we can close the gap and rerun the end of the game. Joel Embiid paying dividends even when he's not out there. I love it. I love it. I hate Freddie as much as I hate Devers and Big Poppy right now. That's the emotion speaking, Trinidad. We keep playing well, and we will continue to play well and keep teams at bay in the fourth. Shipley will get his touches. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was important enough to get them, wasn't it? Yep. Nick Nurse is like Tom Tibbs. You have to take the older players off the roster so you have no choice to play the best available. That's why the Knicks are good now. I don't know if the Knicks are good or decent. The Knicks are better in the regular season than the Sixers. I will say that. But I don't know if they're going to be better come playoff time. It depends on the health of the Sixers. Yes, Todd, we are. Shipley was dumb pick. No, it wasn't. Shipley has the Sproles burst, but not the Sproles vision. He's a rookie. As far as the Sixers, the fans have to be pissed that the two big guys are out, not playing in back-to-back games. Yeah, Stiefel waving the towel. Look, I'm not pissed at the Paul George situation. Look, Paul George was playing in the preseason, unlike Joel Embiid. Paul George unfortunately hurt his knee. It is what it is. It happens. It was lucky it wasn't a worse injury than it was, Brian, with Paul George. Now, Joel Embiid, that's another whole subject. There's plenty of room for y'all to be, and me included, to be pissed off that Joel Embiid is not playing right now. Morey trades like mock Sixers fans. He'll get the roster like, yeah. Look, I've never been a Daryl Morey supporter. Never will be a Daryl Morey supporter. The guy is the most overrated executive in the NBA. It's just plain and simple. NBA investing in the Sixers for players' game management, then they have to investigate every other team. Absolutely. 1,000%, Duck. I never want to hear Brunson foul merchant out of a Sixers fan's mouth, and B doesn't even have to play, and he's getting technicals. That might be your funniest comment lately, for sure. He's getting fouls called, and he ain't even out there. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. Yeah, that is hilarious, guys. You're watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network, guys. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button, and please click that share button. Doing this every single Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Plus other great content. There's lots of great content. Philly Press Box Radio. It's got a banger coming up for you guys on Wednesday night this week. Just so you know. Phil doesn't have to snitch. The mafia live better in the joint than the average worker. Yeah, I don't snitch. My family's not a bunch of snitchers. Morey handicapped by an often injured superstar. So you're saying Morey's not the problem, Joel Embiid's the problem. Is basically what you're saying. Correct, Tech? And maybe there's some truth to what you're saying. Maybe. But the question is, what has Morey ever done even before he got to Philly? Before he was handicapped by an often injured superstar? That's the counter to that. Because he's never done anything but build losing teams. Or teams that weren't good enough to get the job done. Sixers won't be getting out rebound in the stretch. Yeah, obviously the Andre Drummond situation changed a lot. Morey thinks thinks reality is NBA 2K. I don't trust him making the trades. I'll tell you that. You would all snitch. Phil will definitely snitch if it brings. No. I will never snitch. Phil could open a pizza shop in the joint. No, I'm so over pizza shops. Yesterday, I got yelled at by a salesperson. So, Morey is handicapped by Morey. Injured stars happen every team, every season. Yeah, so yesterday's pizza shop story of the day. Okay? A guy called the pizza shop at lunchtime. First off, if you're a salesperson, you call a restaurant between 11 and 2 and 5 and 8, I'm just hanging up on you. Plain and simple. Person calls. It wasn't super busy, so I answered it. Hi, I'm XYZ from XYZ company. It's a marketing company. I say, look, I know your company. I'm not interested in your product. And the guy's like, well, why? I'm like, because I know your product and I'm not interested. Well, I guess you don't want to make lots of money. Boom, and hung up on me. Well, that ain't going to sell me on your product more if that is how you speak to me on the phone. I deal with either customer or sales call every day, someone being an ass twat to me on the phone. Plain and simple. On you all in a heartbeat. You would, K1. You're a snitches get stitches, man. Did you ever hear what Charles Barkley said about Embiid playing in the Summer Olympics and not ready for the season? I know Barkley and I know Shaq are always extremely critical of Joel Embiid, and some of it's rightfully so. But some of it shows, I know Shaq's like, well, he never gets double or triple team. Well, obviously, That's misspeaking there because he gets double teamed and triple teamed all the time. So you take him with a train of with a stop telling Trinidad. Now that's better than what you called me the other day, which I wrote stop the triffin. It's better than stop the triffin, Marshawn. One thing twice to rat y'all. Dude, I thought the core 12 was tight, obviously. Obviously not. Overall philosophy just blows because they're always changing it. It's fair. Embiid is injured every season. Tech, that's fine. And I agree, he is. So the question is, the other option was then to move on, take 2 steps back, and get rid of Joel Embiid. Are you ready for that option, Tech? Are you ready for the Sixers to move on from Joel Embiid? Maybe 5 years from now, that's the right idea. If you do it now, then in 5 years, maybe we're a contender again. But Joel Embiid doesn't grow. Players of his talent don't grow on trees. You're telling me if there was a world where you snitched once and it could bring the Phillies and the Eagles a championship. Nope, I wouldn't. I don't snitch. I ain't no snitch. Never was. I ain't. Dude, the pizza shop rants I could do on a daily basis. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm the same way. I wasn't happy with it, but it grew on me. Yaba and Martin. I'm not a Yabaselli fan personally, Eric. Martin, I love. Caleb Martin, I love. But he can't be the focal point like he is right now. Just can't. Yeah, exactly. More hurt than Yankees fans, probably. Man, now you guys are all getting all fired up in the chat now again. Sidetracked again in the chat, which I just love how sidetracked the chat gets on a regular basis so easily. Buffalo. I want the baseless hot takes with graphic back. I got to re-edit it without the EOP logo. That's the reason why we don't have it anymore. Buffalo is a real place. It is, unfortunately. We know you are not a Yabu fan, Phil. You have made that abundantly clear. Of course I have. What's the best pizza you make? Well, first and foremost, see, you want to plug? We can plug Fox's Pizza, Kennett Square, PA. My pizza shop, Todd. That's a tough question. What's the best? Because the best one we make, I don't sell a lot of because it's something that people often overlook. But I think the best pizza I make is the upside down. It's a Delco thing. So you put your pizza cheese down first. Then you put a layer of provolone cheese down. Then you put your pizza sauce on top with extra sauce on top of that. So it's a thick, thick layer of cheese and a thick layer of sauce. It's so ooey and gooey and saucy and cheesy. It's amazing. I obviously sell a lot of the deluxes, and the Hawaiian's very popular in my Kennett Square town with all the Spanish people. Buffalo chicken's a very popular pizza. But that upside down, my favorite. My favorite right there. It's like the distance from Philly to Charlotte, Buffalo to New York City, is it? I don't know. What's up, Michael? How you doing today? Oop, I didn't put your comment up. Maury has another, I don't know what that says right there. I think there's a little spell check error right there, but he might have another move made, maybe. Embiid's a fail merchant. Bro, go get the technicals. Yeah. Brunson, whatever. I actually like Jalen Brunson. I've got no problem with it. Skip Payless, Beckins. Yeah, I gotta re-update the logo. For that. I just don't have any more time to do things. The Yabus have fans. What? Buffalo style is the best. Do y'all deliver to New York? No, unfortunately not. I did ship a pizza to Ohio State once. Sister-in-law at the time's boyfriend went to Ohio State, and we did ship him a giant pizza once. That was pretty funny. Nick Nurse is playing 3D chess, and Embiid and George are faking injuries so the role players learn to play with Maxey as the number one option. Yeah, I don't know about that. Don't know about that, mister. I don't know if that's the right case anyway. If that's the case. What is called, Phil? The pizza. It's called the upside down. Plain and simple. New York City pizza is the best. Deep dish casserole. Detroit is a solid pie. I like all kinds of pizza. It just depends on the mood and where I'm at. With no tomato sauce, I could do a pizza with no tomato sauce. Sure. Freddie Freeman cleared the park. Duck knows his stuff. New York style is the best. Is Embiid the best center the Sixers ever had? I mean, I guess Wilt Chamberlain would be that. But Joel Embiid could be. A place by me does an upside down Sicilian pizza. It's never dry, and the kind of pizza is always edible. And that kind of pizza is always yeah. I mean, I could do it as a Sicilian. I don't sell a lot of Sicilians. It's not big in my area. Yabu's cheap. Can't hate on him being. Oh, I don't hate him being on the team. Tech. You missed the part of the conversation where I still think that could be a good, solid role player. But I think it was 2 games ago. It was halftime, and he was second leading shot taker on the team. The fact that without Paul George and Joel Embiid, Nick Nurse is putting him in a position to be a focal point of the offense early on, that I don't like. What closet for pizza to Buffalo? What? I don't even know what that's saying there. Is Nurse a good? I think this is a great question, Tech. And I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know the answer to this question. I really, truly don't. He is a championship winning coach, but so was Doc Rivers. So I don't know. Cheese pizza. I absolutely love a cheese pizza. I probably make myself more cheese pizza than any kind of pizza. Detroit, Google it. Ship me a giant pizza for the Wagner Seahawks. What? Fresh greens in Italy. What? Yeah. They are sitting out the stars to get a feel for the bench, what they could do with the bench they have, and what they need to. I mean, maybe, but I don't like that philosophy. I don't. I still think that Morey is eyeing Jimmy Butler as their friction in Miami. Michael, well, 2 years ago I would have told you, bring me Jimmy Buckets back. I'm so over the Jimmy Buckets. I am. I'm so over Jimmy Buckets. Does red wine go with pizza? Absolutely. A glass of Paisano with a slice of pizza? Absolutely. Sicilian pizza is thicker pizza, basically. Closest pizza den? I don't know. Google it. AOL is a pizza novice, and it shows, making New York look bad. Yeah, obviously. Kobe Bryant lived in Italy as a child and spoke the language fluently. My Italian is terrible. I know a couple curse words. I know a few words. I've been to Italy. I've been to Naples. I've been to Rome. I've been to Civitavecchia, Florence, Sicily. I've been all over Italy, but my Italian is no bueno. I know more Spanish than I do Italian right now. Yeah. It depends. Depend red wine for tomato sauce based pizzas. Absolutely, absolutely. Very, very important. Very important. What's your thoughts on Cooper DeJean? I mean, we're 3-0 since he's been the starter. What else is there to say? Cooper DeJean single-handedly turned around the season, Todd. Plain and simple. Speaks Italian the same way Brad Pitt did in Inglourious Basterds. I've never seen Inglourious Basterds, which is probably a bad thing on my part. I only know the GOAT Buffalo style. What is Buffalo style? Phil's about as Italian as a New Jersey. Stop. I got Calabrese running through me, okay? And Terzi. My family comes from Italy. My last name might not be Italian, but I'm more Italian than anything else. He is the John. Cooper DeJean is the John. If not Jimmy, possibly Brandon Ingram. I can't believe Brandon Ingram didn't get traded. I would love Marcus Smart on our bench to get rid of Lowry. I don't know if Marcus Smart's got much left. I thought he was injured, or maybe that was last year. But I do think Daryl Morey will make one more big, bold move. I just still don't trust him. Do you guys make cheesesteaks? Absolutely make a good cheesesteak. We've had cheesesteak debates on this show. Today, we're talking pizza as the food talk of the day. But we've talked cheesesteaks on this. I have a very untraditional style of cheesesteak that I like. When I make myself a cheesesteak, on top of the extra cheese, I go ketchup and mayo with fried onions, mushrooms, and yellow banana peppers. That's my go-to cheesesteak right there, Todd, when I'm building it my way. Nurse is a good coach with flaws. As a GM, you realize that and take the old players off the roster. But instead, they added Eric Gordon. They kept Kyle Lowry. They brought in Reggie Jackson. So, yeah, Detroit looks like ass. Marcus Smart has to have more in the tank than Lowry. That is true. Y'all know I'm not a Kyle Lowry guy. Plain and simple. Kyle Lowry is just not my guy. Guys, we're coming up to the final 5 minutes today. What's the rest of this week going to bring? We're going to continue talking Eagles. Hopefully we learn something about the Sixers today and their injured stars. Thursday, making his grand return to trending in the AM. It's been far too long. Not Scotty, but Scotty's partner, Dylan Davis, will be on the show on Thursday. Can't wait. I haven't hashed it out with Dylan in a while. We got lots happening this week on this show. He was done before. We all knew he was done. Detroit is just building on how good they were last season. Is that what it is? Michael Corleone needed a translator when he moved to Italy until the heat cooled off. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Detroit is about to destroy. No, they're talking already about benching Tobias Harris in Detroit, which probably is rightfully so. Detroit, I mean, it took Sixers fans a while to turn on Tobias. It's taken 3 games for Detroit to turn on Tobias Harris out there, and you hate to see it. Yeah. Power ranking show. I got to put the power rankings together. I'll see what I can do. The Eagles need to get an edge rusher before the trade deadline is over. Michael, possibly, probably. I've already spoken about it, that I'm not making a big, bold trade with like a first-round draft pick attached for like a Max Crosby or what. I'm not going that lengths. I'm just not. But they do need some depth at edge rusher. I think defensive tackle, honestly, with the lack of minutes that what's his name's getting. Absolutely. I think it may be a tight end. What my thoughts are on the needs are a lot different than others. Go Birds. Got to go to work. I got to go to work here in a few moments as well. Yeah, stop. Packers are 6-2, and we beat the Packers. Talking NFL, don't care about the NBA until playoffs. You know what? I'm right there with you at this point. I like the edge rusher Hendrickson from the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are going to be selling. But I'm not trading. I would be shocked if Howie trades too much at this point. They've got 7 picks next year, but they got no 6th and 7th rounders. They got 3 5th-round picks next year, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I just don't see them doing it. You need those draft picks. You need the younger players, cheaper players. DRC making a return? No. I treat the NBA like I do MLB. Why team starts well, I will all about it. Yeah, look, the Phillies started great, and look how they did in the playoffs, right? Tulip. Tulip. Yeah. The outro has the same intro, the same music as well. Just so you know, But anyway, we will continue the Sixers talk tomorrow. We'll continue the Eagles talk tomorrow. Maybe we'll get into power rankings if I don't decide to do a power rankings show. Maybe we'll save the power rankings for its own show. I don't know. I don't care. Maybe not. Got lots to get into the rest of this week. It's going to be a fun week this week on Trend in the AM. So, guys, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, all of them. Michael, thank you very much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and that share button. But the Bengals aren't in sell mode. Yeah, exactly. Hell, the Pats are 2. It's true. 2-6 teams still got a chance, right? It's insanely crazy the way the NFL is playing out right now. But with that being said, guys, it's time to wrap this shebang up for the day. The Raiders are on fire sell mode. They are for sure. Bryce Huff got fined $16K for his sack on Jones. The other thing, speaking of Bryce Huff, but made me think the other reason why I don't see a big trade coming, the Eagles have about $10 million in salary cap space that they want to roll over as much as possible into next year because of contract extensions, because they don't have a lot of cap space next year. So the Eagles need that cap space, plus they need the young players that you get with the draft picks. So I don't foresee them making a big, bold move. If they could trade a 2026 mid-round draft pick, maybe they will for somebody. But that's about it. Maybe they trade that 3rd-round Reddick pick in 2026. Maybe. That's about it. So I don't see big, bold trades coming for the Eagles. Yeah, as 0-4. I thought it was 0-3, but 0-4. Yeah, exactly. A decent game by Hurts. I need to see it again. Hey, look at Pump Man coming in finally in the last second of the show. Skipped all of yesterday's, hype on the Jalen Hurts. Skipped most of today, but it's okay. You can come back tomorrow and talk about Jalen Hurts and how great he looked on Sunday. But with that being said, guys, We're going to wrap it up. Trey in the AM. I'm Phil Stiefel. You can find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge. Like, share, subscribe. Hold on. There's a couple more comments coming in. Sixers in Detroit will have the same record soon. Probably. You're really not hyped for those Sixers. But, guys, go Birds. The Sixers aren't made for this. Let's go Flyers, and bubbles up to y'all.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.